So the materials that you will need are some DK weight yarn, or any medium weight yarn, and I'm using beige for the main body of the coaster, and then this will be for my roses. And you also need some green yarn for our flowers, our petals. I'm also using a 5mm crochet hook. You will need scissors and darning needle to weave in your ends and to cut your yarn. So let's get into it. Creating a magic ring, and to do that I like to create a crisscross like this and just pinch it down with my middle finger and my thumb, and then grab my hook and go into this loop and then pull up the yarn and chain two to secure the magic ring. So magic ring done. Now we're going to work double crochets into the magic ring for the first round. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull out the yarn, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay, so 2 loops, 1 double crochet done, and then we're going to make 11 more until we have a total of 12 double crochets for our first round. This is okay. So once we've closed the magic ring, we're going to identify the first double crochet, and then I'm going to make a slip stitch into that double crochet. So insert your hook, grab the yarn, and then pull that loop through the loop that is already on the hook, and that's how you create a slip stitch. So our first round is all done. We're going to start our second round by making 2 chains and working 1 double crochet into that first stitch, which is the same space where we made that slip stitch into, and then we're going to make a second double crochet into that same stitch. Into the next stitch also we're going to make 2 double crochets, and we are going to repeat that all around. So 2 double crochets into every stitch until you make it back to the beginning. Once you're back at the beginning, we're going to make a slip stitch into our first double crochet, and then we have completed our second round. I'm going to start the third round by making 2 chains again, and now we're going to work 2 double crochets into the first stitch, 1 and 2, and then in the next stitch we're going to work just 1 double crochet. In the next one we're going to work 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. Next one we're going to work 1 double crochet. So the idea for this is to just alternate between 2 and 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1 until you work back to the beginning of your round. For the fourth round we're going to make 2 chains and then we're going to start by making 2 double crochets into the first stitch, and then we're going to make 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then 1 double crochet also into the next stitch, and then 2 double crochets into the next, 1 and 2, and then 1 double crochet into the next, and 1 double crochet into the next. Okay, so the pattern repeat for this round is 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet. Okay, and we're going to repeat that until we make it back to the beginning, slip stitch, and then complete, and then fasten off this yarn, because after this round we're going to be attaching our green yarn. Now I've just inserted my hook into the top of the stitch. This is usually where I'll make my slip stitch, right? But instead of completing the slip stitch with this color, I'm just going to cut the yarn here. I'm gonna cut the yarn, my new color, which is green yarn. I'm combining 2 different shades because that's what I have, and then I'm going to use that green yarn to make the slip stitch to join the yarn. Okay, that's how you do it. And then I'll just make a double knot or a single knot at the back to secure it to it. I think double knot is preferable, you know, for extra security. Okay, so now we're going to work with the green yarn. I'm going to start by chaining 5. Beautiful. These 2 colors. Okay, so I'm going to start by chaining 5. Then I'm going to work 1 double crochet into that first stitch. Okay, and this creates a kind of like a V here. And then I'm going to skip 2 stitches, and then into the 3rd stitch I'm going to make 1 double crochet. Okay, double crochet into the same stitch. So I've just created a V stitch. Okay, and then I'm going to repeat this for I'm going to repeat these V stitches, skip 2 stitches, make a V stitch, skip 2 stitches, make a V stitch. Repeat that all around. So let's do this one more time. So skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, into the 3rd one, make a double crochet, then chain 3, double crochet into the same stitch. Okay, so I'm going to repeat this until I walk back to this place. Okay, so I've completed all my V's, and I have 2 stitches in between my last V and the 5 chains that were made at the beginning, which is exactly what you should have if you did this correctly. So I'm going to make a slip stitch into that 5 chains to join the round, and here I'm just going to make 1 chain, and then I'm going to make 1 single crochet into that 5 chains, and then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then we're going to go into the middle chain of those 3 chains that we just made. The middle chain, we're going to make 1 single crochet there, and then I'm going to go back into this loop of the 5 chains, and then I'm going to make 1 single crochet there also. Okay, I'm going to repeat that one more time so we have something that looks like this. So we're going to go into this next loop here, which is our V, the top of our V. We're going to go into there and make 1 single crochet. Okay, then we're going to chain 3, and then into the middle of those 3 chains. So we have 1, 2, so that middle chain, make 1 single crochet there, and then we're going to go back into that loop, and then we're going to make 1 single crochet. Okay, and we're going to repeat this into all the V's until we walk back to the beginning. So go into the next V, make 1 single crochet, and then chain 3, 1 single crochet into the middle of those 3 chains, single crochet back into that space that we started from. Okay, and then we're just going to repeat this until we have this all around. So now we're going to work on our roses. So to make your rose, grab your yarn and make a slip knot. You want to leave a tail that is like 4 to 5 inches long, because we're going to use that tail later on, but it doesn't have to be too long. Just now I'm going to chain 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Into the 3rd chain, I'm going to make 1 double crochet, a 2nd double crochet into that same chain, and I'm just going to repeat that into all my chains. I'm going to make 2 double crochets into all my chains. So I have 7 chains because I skipped 2 at the beginning, so at the end I have 14 stitches. So just go and make 2 double crochets into all the stitches until you get to the end. Two double crochets into every stitch until you are until you have exhausted your chains. In here, so 1 and 2. Just chain 1 and cut the excess yarn and pull through, and then just pull, and then this is our rose. I'm just going to roll this up like this, and I'm going to grab my darning needle, my yarn needle. I'm going to take this tail that we left at the beginning and just thread that. Just going to thread that I've rolled it up, and then I'm just going to sew it together. Just pass it through the base of the rose just a few times. So this is 1. I like to do 3 times. So 1, the 3rd time I'm just going to make a knot. So I just pull it and put it back into, put the yarn back into the chain, and then just pull. And just like this, we've created a rose. You can also do the same thing for this one. So for this other loop, I'm going to take it, this other and I'm going to take it, and I'm just going to work my way to the bottom here. So like this, don't pull too tight. I need to work my way to the bottom here so that the two ropes are next to each other, and you'll see the significance of that very soon. Okay, so we're going to go in between you see these peaks that we formed here from our last round. We're just going to go in between those peaks. So I'm going to take my rose, and then just, you don't have to use your yarn to do this, but in between those single crochets that we made, I'm just going to insert my hook there and grab one of those loops. Sorry, I'm supposed to insert this from the back. So insert it from the back, and then grab one of those loops that we made and just pull it through. The hook for this, you can use your fingers. Just pull it through like that. And then I'm going to insert this shorter one into here. Sorry, from the back. Flip this, and then I'm going to make a double knot at the back. This is how you make your rose bouquet. That's our first rose all done. I'm alternating colors, so I'm going to make more of the pink roses and more of the wine roses. So if you follow this pattern correctly, you should have 16 joints where you're going to attach your roses. So I'm going to make 8 of this, so 7 more of this, and then 8 in this rose color, and then you just attach them one by one until you have exhausted all your joints.